Hey guys, Chad Hoover, Kayak Bass and TV, and today I'm going to do a video on one of the most requested topics I ever get, and that's selecting a fishing kayak. We're going to start talking about the best kayak under $500, talk about some intermediate kayaks, and then talk about some of the advanced kayaks that are available on the market. All right, so probably the most, no, not probably, definitely the most requested topic that I get in the comment sections, emails, social media, direct messages and things like that is, hey Chad, I don't have a lot of money, I'm on a budget, I'm a college student, whatever. What's the best fishing kayak you would recommend for under $500? So, you know, I'm not a big fan of cheap, okay? There's a difference between cheap and inexpensive. Cheap is not going to be durable. Cheap is not going to last you, and you're going to end up spending twice as much for cheap, okay? So if you're going to buy a kayak that's under $250, well, in that $250 to $300 range, you're probably going to be buying a disposable kayak. So though I'm not a big fan of telling people to wait, I do want you to get on the water as soon as you possibly can. There is that threshold, and that threshold is generally that $350 to $500 mark before you're going to get into a quality kayak. You want to make sure that for a basic kayak that it is polyethylene, rotomolded, and it's not a thermoform seamed kayak. Thermoform seamed kayaks are very high quality in the upper end of the fishing kayak market, but they're not that dependable, and they're almost disposable on the lower end. So the kayak that I'm going to recommend as the best starter kayak for that sub $500 range is the Perception Pescador 10. This boat actually used to be the Tarpon 100 in the Wilderness Systems line, and the folks at Confluence Outdoors take their dated Wilderness Systems boats and they put them in the Perception line. So starting from the front, we're going to work our way to the back. I'm just going to go over some of the basic features. It's got a simple grab handle at the front. Really easy transition, not a lot of crazy technology, but nothing, you know, really poorly designed about the hull. Simple round bottom, flat in the middle. It's got these peel off rubber style hatches. These things are easy to get it out of unless you don't take care of them. And so if you take care of them, simply spray a little bit of 303 or Armor All on the inside of this hatch, and then it makes it real easy to pop it on. Just smooth it on and then grab the tab and pop it off. You've got a lanyard inside here to keep it from flying off, and you can stow some gear on the inside. Keep in mind when you're stowing gear on the inside of any fishing kayak, it's not waterproof, so if you're going to stick something inside, make sure you have it in a dry bag. One of the great things about these kayaks is they're pretty simple, but they've got some consideration put into them from the beginning. You've got a nice little mounting areas right here for rod holders. Nothing fancy with your foot braces. These foot braces are just rigid little places for you to put your feet, couple of deck loops for you to mount stuff on. They do have a surface area here that allow you to add a track after the fact. My recommendation is if you're going to buy a kayak like this, keep it pretty simple. Use it until you advance to the next level and then invest in a little bit better kayak down the road. Buy this kayak, use it until it served its purpose, and then put it in your buddy fleet boat. You know, use it as the boat that you take somebody else out and get them into kayak fishing, and then maybe even pass it on to them at a deal. Simple grab handles, easy, straightforward, nothing fancy. It's got a padded seat to keep you up out of the water. It's got a real simple, rigid back with these bungee cords that hold it up. It's pretty stiff. It's got good back support, not super high, so it works great with the mesh back and the elevated foam seat back high back PFDs that are popular in the fishing market. Another little gear hatch right here for throwing a day bag in, dry bag, access to the inside of the hull for installing rod holders and things like that. Just a pretty straightforward approach. It's got a square back here for throwing a milk crate, a gear bag, a tackle box, a black pack or something like that. A couple of scuppers, a rear gear handle, and basically that's it. So if you're looking for that best kayak under $500 and you're under 300 pounds to get you into the, you know, into the world of kayak fishing inexpensively, the Perception Pescador is a great start. One of the things that I'll point out that these entry-level boats don't have is they don't have protection on your keel. So if you look at the keel right here, it's just straight plastic. So if you drag this boat, if you rub it on rocks, and if you do a lot of, you know, if it interacts with concrete very much, you're gonna wear through it. So this is the basic boat and the boat that I would recommend in that sub $500 range, the Perception Pescador 10. Let's take a look at the Perception Pescador Pro, where you're stepping up into that intermediate class, and see what you get when you step up a couple $100 and you know, what features are a little bit different on an intermediate style fishing kayak. All right guys, so now we're gonna move into the next, you know, level of fishing kayak, what I like to class the intermediate fishing kayak. So the one that I'm gonna recommend for you is the Perception Pescador Pro. Now, I'm doing the 10-foot version of both the Perception Pescador and the Pescador Pro. They're both available for a little bit of an upgrade in 12-foot models, but for the purpose of this video, I'm doing the 10-foot model, so just keep that in mind. I'll put a link in the description box for more information on each of these boats, and so check that out. And don't forget to comment below and ask any questions or specific things you would like more information about, and I'll be happy to answer that. So, same basic handle in the front. One of the things you're gonna get with a little bit more advanced or intermediate kayak is some thoughtfulness in design, meaning they put some things in it to make it easier for you to throw a gear bag in here. This kayak in particular has a mesh gear retention strap at the front. It's got a little single scupper in here so that you've got easy access. You can also use this as a transducer scupper for your depth finder because it's got a cool little integrated electronics pod right here. You can put your battery in there, mount your depth finder, run your cord right here, and install a depth finder. Got a couple of cutouts for laying your rod in. Got a more adjustable foot pedal, one where you can slide the pedals fore and aft, and it's just a little bit more thoughtfulness in design. Again, carrying it on back. One of the things you're gonna get with an intermediate kayak is you're gonna get a larger seat. What that larger seat's gonna do is it's also gonna accommodate larger paddlers, you know, like myself, and some of you guys out there that resemble all this that I got going on. And so you're gonna have to think about that when you purchase your kayak. I have paddled the Pescador. I've spent a lot of time in it. It's a great kayak. It's just not big enough for my big butt, and so I like to upgrade to something bigger. Now, obviously, I've been blessed in my career, and I paddle the best stuff out there, but this boat right here is definitely one of those entry-level boats that's gonna give you everything you need, but maybe not everything you want. Keep that in mind, but at the price point of a little over $700, I think right now it's retailing for $729. It pretty much comes with everything you need. The seat is easy to remove, so that allows you to do things like repair it if you have any issues. It allows you to access the cockpit if you need to make any kind of mounting or rigging adjustments. It does come with tracks integrated into the boat. In other words, the mold is there, the track is installed. It's gonna allow you to install rod holders without doing any drilling. It's gonna allow you to put depth finders on there, transducer arms, things like that. So it just gives you right out of the box a lot more versatility for rigging. Bring it on back to the back. This kayak has got a couple of flush mount rod holders made right into it. They keep it pretty simple. You don't have to drill holes in the boat. These things basically are just, you stick a rod in there. It keeps them straight up behind you. It keeps you from catching them on your back cast. And then they've got a little access hatch right here that you can get to the inside of the boat if you need to do any kind of rigging, any kind of access to the inside. And it also allows you to store a smaller rod on the inside of the boat. A little bit bigger tank well, a little bit more complex bungee system, a couple more fittings put in there, little quick releases. So you can just throw your gear bag in there, bring that bungee over the top, strap it, lock it. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward, the same as the Pescador. Now, one thing about the Pescador Pro is it's gonna be a wider hull design. It's gonna be a little more stable, and it's a entry-level standing fishing platform. One of the cheapest boats on the market, one of the least expensive boats on the market, I should say, that you can actually stand and fish from. And here's one more thing, like I talked about when you're talking about the inexpensive or cheap kayaks, is they don't have this sacrificial keel. The Perception Pescador Pro is the least expensive boat on the market that is equipped with that sacrificial keel. What that's gonna do is it's gonna allow you to really beat that boat up, grab it by the front handle, drag it around on the concrete, drag it around in the riverbeds, dragging it through rock gardens, beat it up, and then before you drag through the hole, you simply replace that sacrificial keel for 10 to 15 bucks and you're back in business. So that's definitely something to keep in mind when you start talking about purchasing a fishing kayak. So if you're looking for that entry-level boat, the Perception Pescador 10, and like I said, it comes in an upgraded 12-foot version for a little longer, sleeker, faster boat, and then the Pescador Pro 10, which also comes in a 12-foot version in the intermediate class. That Pescador 10 is sub $500. This Pescador Pro is $729 for the 10-foot model and a little bit more for the 12-foot model. So that's your entry-level basic and your intermediate fishing kayak. Now let's take a look at some of the advanced fishing kayaks on the market and what you get for your money. All right, guys, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it to the next level. We're gonna talk about some of the most advanced fishing kayaks on the market. Pedaling kayaks have become super popular, and almost every manufacturer out there now offers a kayak that can be pedaled. Manufacturers like Hobie started with the Mirage Drive. Native was the first kayak with the pedal style kayak to go into reverse. And then Wilderness Systems has recently offered the new Helix pedal drive. The reason that we're choosing this boat to talk about in the advanced categories, it's one of those boats that does it all. It's the Wilderness Systems Radar, and this is the 11 and a half foot version, the 115. But again, this boat also comes in a 13 and a half foot boat in the Radar 135. So this boat is basically a boat that is designed to paddle, to pedal, or to power. All right, so what that means is this boat can be paddled. It's got a good hull design, super efficient in the water, super stable for standing, and it's got everything you need to get started in an upper end fishing kayak. But the great thing about this kayak is if you are a peddler and you like to pedal, you can add the Helix PD pedal module by removing the console that's in the center. But if you want to use a powered version, you simply remove the flex pod and install the Helix motor drive. So that allows this boat to be pedaled, it allows it to be paddled, or it allows it to be powered. So we're not going to get into the specifics of the operation. We've already done that, and there's a lot of information out there. I just want to walk through an advanced fishing kayak and show you some of the things that cause price increases, comfort increases, and functionality increases. So starting at the front, one of the things you're going to get on a premium fishing kayak is you're going to get rigid handles, something that a hook's not going to get hung in, it's not going to get snagged in, the hardware's not going to rotate and loosen up on you, and you're not going to have any problems out of the handle. You're then going to have really, clever paddle parks in places to hide your paddle, whether it's this kind or the strap kind like on the Attack or on the Bonafide SS127. You're going to have really premium hatches that are more easy to operate, that are more waterproof, that have waterproof seals in them, and that have swiper latches that allow you to lock these things in place and be a lot more waterproof, and then they're also lockable. Coming on back, you're going to have improved foot pedals. You're going to have pedals that have a rubberized surface on them. You're going to have a larger footprint. You're going to have more adjustability in your foot brace locations and just a little bit more durability. The cockpit design, in a lot of cases, has cutouts so you can add traction padding, something that's going to allow the boat to be quieter. You're going to have more hatch access to the inside of the boat, like this square hatch in the center of the Radar 115. And then more importantly, and the place that most kayaks in the advanced category jump up in price is the cost and the technology and the build out price of the more advanced seats. This seat in particular has got these wiper style adjustments on it where you loosen that up and then you can slide the seat forward and aft to trim the load of the angler back and forth and then lock it back in place where you want it when you get it where you want it to go. The seat goes very easy to the low position, very easy to the high position, and then for you duck hunters, sunbathers, book readers, and nap takers out there, it also kicks into what's called the lean position. So that's a really clever concept. You just grab this strap and pop it back up, and it's in the high position. And then working your way back, these boats just have a lot more plastic. They have a lot more specific designs. For functionality. This little groove right here so that you can take the seat, put it in the vertical position, and add a third dimensional or AirPro 3D seat. The other thing that more expensive, more advanced fishing kayaks do is they integrate with the product line of that particular manufacturer, like this Wilderness Systems kayak crate here. The tank coil is going to be a little bit more oversized. There's going to be more hardware like the addition of tracks in the back, adjustable tie downs, adjustable cleats, and adjustable setups. When you work your way to the back, you're going to have a more rigid handle. You're going to have some inserts that will allow you to add a motor mount, a power pole mount. They're going to come rigged and ready for a rudder like this kayak has. And then as always, they're going to have that sacrificial keel that allows you to really beat that boat up, that allows you to really, put that boat through some serious abuse, and it's going to stand up to it. But once you wear that wear strip out, you pop a couple screws out for somewhere between $13 and $15. You pop a new one on there, you're back in business, and you got a brand new keel on your kayak. So when it comes to what you're paying for in a more advanced kayak, this kayak is anywhere from $15.99 on up to, in the 11-foot version, it's $13.99 on up to, nearly $3,000 with the power or the pedal option, and depending on the accessories that you select. The great thing about these boats is you don't have to add much to them when it comes to rigging. You can add track-mounted accessories, you can add, track-mounted gear to it, but for the most part, the boat comes with everything you need to hop on the water and go fishing. One thing to keep in mind as you're working your way up the property ladder, if you will, of fishing kayaks is that the more expensive kayak you buy, the more it's going to retain its value, right? And so if you decide to put that boat up for sale used, if you decide to trade it back in to a retailer like Hook One, the more value you're going to get back in it. And it's just one of those things to consider when it comes to what level you decide to come in at. The Pescador Pro, the Wilderness Systems Radar, any of the boats in that lineup, and any of your more popular advanced fishing kayaks out there are going to serve you well. You just have to decide what level you want to come in at. I definitely don't recommend skimping on your paddle, and I don't recommend skimping on your PFD. That's something that you're going to have probably for the life of your kayak fishing career, at least in the paddle. And your PFD is your first line of defense for saving your life, and it's got to be comfortable. So buy the best of those that you can in the beginning. Buy the best kayak that you can. If you're getting into it and you're not sure you're gonna like it, buy in the middle if you can, but don't wait to buy the kayak because you're saving up to get to that middle. Buy that entry-level kayak, turn it into a buddy boat, one of your kids' boat, your significant other's boat when you're done, and then use that as an entry-level boat to get them in the sport and then ultimately upgrade them as well. So anyway, guys, this is my video on basic or beginner kayak, intermediate kayaks, and advanced fishing kayaks and why you pay what you pay for them. Now, I'm excited about the evolution of the sport, so let me take you over here and show you one more boat that is kind of pushing the limits of the kayak fishing market, and that is this Native Watercraft Titan. This is an oversized single person boat, but it's in the kayak category because it's operated by an individual angler. It's made out of rotomolded plastic, and it's got a lot of the same features as a fishing kayak. It's just kind of, you know, it's overdone. They're dreaming big. This boat is operated by Native's pedal drive, the Propel system. That system is time tested. It was the first on the market in that type of pedal drive. They were the first with reverse. It's got a lot of well thought out features. It's got the tracks in it. It's made of premium plastic. It comes with a hatch. It comes with an insert. This boat has actually got a foam injected into the inside of it to increase rigidity and increase buoyancy. It comes with a really nice track padding installed on it. It's got under-seat storage, a really high-end first-class seat, a huge tank well, some really well thought out offset rod holder stagers and things like that. It comes power pole ready in the back with a couple of plates back here, a transom mount that they make that goes in the center. And because this is a bigger boat and it's heavy, you're gonna have two handles in the back so you can lift that thing up and get it into your pickup truck, on top of your SUV, or onto the trailer. So again, guys, listen, if you're looking to get started and not spend a lot of money, look at that Pescador. If you want to start somewhere in the middle, check out the Pescador Pro. If you want an advanced kayak that's going to do it all and paddle well, check out the Wilderness Systems Radar Attack Series or any of your other kayaks in that category. And then, you know, check out the top of the line, some of the more advanced stuff like this Native Watercraft Titan, because that's exactly what it is. But before you do any of this, if you have access to a premium paddle shop, okay, if you have access to a place to go talk to a staff member that knows what they're doing, if you have the ability to get on the water and try it before you buy it, if you have a local club in the area where anglers in that club can let you try their boat at little meet and greets and get-togethers, then I definitely recommend that you try before you buy. If you can't try before you buy, I hope this video serves as a good baseline for where to start and how to make a proper decision when it comes to selecting your first fishing kayak. Got to thank the folks at Hook One for allowing me to come in here and shoot this awesome video for you. And check those guys out on the web. I'll put their link in the description box below. And if you don't have a retailer in your area, like I said, please hit up one of your local clubs. Find somebody that can let you try the boat. If at all possible, try before you buy, but if you can't, do as much research as you can so you know what you're getting before you buy it. I'm Chad Hoover, Kayak Bass and TV. Hope you like this video. Do me a favor, give it a big thumbs up. Watch one of these other videos. And as always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Kayak Fishing Brotherhood. Smash that subscribe button, and whether you're new or not, turn on the notifications tab so you know when I release a new video.